We're live for the Minnesota State Fair through September 7th. You can stop by the KFAN booth in Carousel Park, presented by Mesh, Besher, and Spence. Get your favorite shows broadcasting live every day, plus new KFAN swag you can buy, as well as a shot at a free original chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A with every purchase while supplies last. Full details, KFAN.com/fair.
Why don't you put your pants back on, Slappy? You can't talk that way and be taken seriously. Fall down, Chicago Bears. Ha ha ha, you're not in face. Tweet that.
Sorry, KFAN.
It's been an all-star lineup today. Right at 3 o'clock, we started with, right at the start of the show, actually, we got Jimmy Jam on. We thought he was going to be in rehearsal, but he ended up finding a way to get time with us, and we appreciated that. After his appearance, who do we have after Jimmy? Two Dogs, Monty Creason's Traveling Reptile Show, then Andy Luger, and now, speaking of institutions, how about a round of applause, a warm round of applause, even tepid is okay, for John Bream, longtime music writer for the Star Tribune. We did debate whether to leave Luger here, because he's kind of in the meat grinder with the popular music community after his last appearance on the show, even within his own family, where they thought, especially I think his daughter, that he came on a little too strong.
I heard his apology. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear the apology? Yeah, about 70s music, popular music. He left Guardsy almost in tears with his utter disdain for Kansas, among other groups. Blue Oyster Cult was in that mix. Who else was Guardsy? There were several groups that he just
basically
savaged.
everybody.
So now he got a new T-shirt, very creative, where he's trying to back off just a little bit. We've had these discussions, you and I, over the years, and it's the ongoing debate about whether popular can't mean weighty. You know, that whole issue, or it can't mean good. And you've had your curmudgeonly moments as a critic in terms of what you like and what you might challenge. So how did you, over the years, how has John Bream evolved on the question of popularity? Because there was a time in my youth where critics, like Rolling Stone critics, it was almost like in the water, where there's a certain amount of popularity in a group or a singer that I will not be able to possibly praise. It's my job to challenge and come up with something a little bit more erudite, a little bit less well-known, that's purer, all that stuff. So did you go through that period? Are you still in that period?
I think I'm a little more open-minded than that. I've certainly embraced people that have not been critically acclaimed, like Neil Diamond.
True.
I was a big fan. I wrote a book about him. I lobbied for him to be nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the first time he was on the ballot, he got inducted. As to Kansas and Journey, I was not a fan back then.
Mm-hmm.
I came to respect Journey more over the years, even though they changed their lead singer about as often as Prince changed outfits. But as for Luger, I think the real reason, and maybe he would admit it if he was still here, Blue Oyster Cult is from Long Island.
Oh.
He's a Jersey guy.
Yeah.
You know?
You might have something there that he doesn't want to talk about, but maybe that's why he didn't want to talk about it, because it's the truth.
Yeah.
Because he's become semi one of us, but he's still a Jersey guy.
Yeah.
Like you said,
At
there's no
heart.
question at heart. Yeah, that doesn't change.
Yeah, and I like Blue Oyster Cult. I don't think they belong in the Rock Hall of Fame. But
See, I never loved them. I thought they were okay.
Yeah, I thought they were above average and fun.
Yeah.
I like their earlier name. The original name was Soft White Underbelly.
Soft White Underbelly.
Yeah.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So give me a group or an individual who once upon a time in your writing career that you savaged or you criticized pretty harshly, that you had a complete awakening or transition on. Does anybody come to mind?
Well, Journey comes to mind.
Journey would be one, like you said earlier.
I don't know if it would be a complete awakening. I mean, I was always aware of them, always aware of their popularity. At some point, you accept the impact that the songs have. I think after The Sopranos...
It's a good way to put it.
The Sopranos changed people's thinking about Journey and changed their impact. And the same way that Don't Stop Believin' became a huge song, and it's also a big karaoke song. Same with Neil Diamond and Sweet Caroline. You know, I think that helped change people's opinions about them.
Were you shocked at all, surprised, or completely understood the degree of intensity in reaction to the Dolly Parton news? Because I don't know what I expected, but I don't know that I expected what seemed to be very earnest and very spontaneous, regardless of where people were on her style of music. I thought it was overwhelming.
It was overwhelming, but I'm not surprising. I mean, she, at the risk of sounding redundant, she was a special, extraordinary person, as well as an extraordinary musician. And she transcended music. She transcended movies. She became such a big celebrity, but what you get out of Dolly is you get this generosity and this joy and this helping other people. And she didn't always want credit for it, but she just helped so many people in so many different ways, whether it was Imagination Library, 300 million books distributed worldwide to kids between birth and age 5 so they could read because her dad couldn't read. She donated over $1 million when COVID-19 came out to help develop the Moderna drug. So she helped out, you know, she wasn't about politics. She was about helping people. She supported the LGBTQ community. She didn't care about the political fallout. She felt it was the right thing to do. And I think people respected her universally. They didn't see politics with Dolly the way they might with other artists.
One of the quotes I read or I heard, and I think this might have been Johnny Cash, but you would probably know, is an attempt to define country music. And the quote, as I remember hearing it, is country is just 3 chords and the truth.
Right.
Is that Johnny Cash?
No, I think it was Harlan Howard, a songwriter.
Okay. I love that quote. I love that observation. Do you agree with that? What does that tell us? What does that mean?
Well, it basically tells us that country music is musically fairly simple, and it wants to be honest and authentic. And the thing about Dolly is she looked unreal, but she was the most real person you could get. She was so genuine. And I can't say that about all country people. A lot of them is just an act. It's a shtick. You know, they make up a backstory and they stick to it.
You want to name any names?
You could think about all of them. How many of them have fake names?
What about Conway Twitty?
Well, that was a made-up name.
Yeah, but I mean, does that mean he was made up?
No, I don't think he was made up. I think
he was pretty authentic, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think back in the day they were a lot more authentic, but I think nowadays there's a lot more marketing going on.
Yeah, there's
more,
but that's
more marketing savvy.
But that's true in a lot of musical.
Oh, in all
correct?
music,
yeah, pretty much across the board. You wrote about some of the stuff some of the interactions you had over the years with Dolly. What comes to mind now? What hit you when you look back on the conversations you had and some of the things that you wrote? Because as you mentioned, as you wrote, you outed her a little bit on the lip syncing controversy here, right here at the State Fair, correct?
No, it was at a concert at XL Energy
I'm
Center.
sorry, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the show and I'm going like, no, that sounds different when she's singing these particular songs. And it was I Will Always Love You, Islands of the Stream, a couple other hits. You know, you could hear the sound change. And I realized she's lip syncing on those songs. And I'm thinking, an artist of that stature, who's known for having a great, you know, fluttery butterfly voice with a kind of little girlish twist to it, she's faking it? And I just couldn't accept that. So I had to call her out in my review. And the National Enquirer, I didn't know they read the Star Tribune, but they picked up the fact that I called her out. And they're not shy. They called Dolly. She talked to them, and she admitted she lip syncs on some songs.
That was probably the smartest move. She didn't pretend otherwise. So here's my question to you. How sure do you have to be? Because that's a hell of a charge. How did you convince yourself, yeah, I'm going with this? I mean, or do you feel like, okay, I got to call a couple people that I might know on the technical side at that arena to just be sure that I'm on the right track here?
I've had enough experience with it over the years. My son was a singer. You know, when I go to a concert, he can pick up on it more easily than I do. Sometimes you just watch their vocal cords, and oftentimes what they're doing is there's a track of music and they're singing along over the track.
Right.
So you're having their voice enhanced by technology. It's not AI. It's, you know, them singing with their own voice.
John Bream is our guest here at the Great Minnesota Get Together. Let's stay on schedule, Guardsy? Let's do it. Let's get a pause in now. If there's any sports headlines, Guardsy will squeeze those in at some point later in the show. Been a very fast-moving program, outstanding array of guests as well. We'll continue with Mr. Bream in just a couple minutes right here on the Fan.
This is Bumper to Bumper live from the Minnesota State Fair.
KFAN, from sports updates, ticket giveaways, show highlights, and more. You can follow at KFAN 1003 on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Stay connected to the sports leader, The Fan.
John Bream, Part 2, longtime music critic. Is it 53 years? Music critic, Star Tribune?
51.
51 years. Who is at 53 today?
That was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis relationship.
Yeah, they worked together for 53 years.
Yeah,
that's a pretty
well,
good
they met
too.
in junior high.
That's it. It's amazing. And you met them both when they were in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Maybe sooner. In your case, it wouldn't shock me at all, that's for sure. Bonnie Raitt tonight. That's why Luger's here.
That's why a lot of us are here.
Will you be reviewing tonight's Bonnie Raitt? How would you describe the Bream relationship with Bonnie Raitt? Business-like, cordial, a little bit tense?
I'd say it's a long one.
Yeah.
One of the longest. When she was here in 1971 recording her first album on Lake Minnetonka, and I was just switched from news to entertainment, the entertainment editor says, well, why don't you go over to the whole coffee house at the University of Minnesota, and Bonnie Raitt is playing, she's in town recording. And I said, well, I don't know what I'd ask her. He said, just go over there and interview her. I went to the show and I didn't know what to ask her, but I saw the show. And I saw an amazing talent. Yeah. I've told her that story. I mean, I've covered her for all those many years. She's a wonderful person and a wonderful artist.
Yeah, how old would she be? I don't even know.
She'll be 77 this year.
77 years old. And didn't she have a brother who lived here for a long time?
Her brother Steve was a recording engineer and worked with Lamont Cranston for a long time. He lived here for 30 years and passed away of a brain tumor in 2009.
Yeah, and because she always did have a special kinship with this market, right, with the Twin Cities.
Oh, she still does. She has lots of friends here. She always gets very emotional when she's in this market.
Yeah. Anything else on Dolly? I mean, did she ever acknowledge to you directly in later interviews that, hey, you're the one who outed me on the lip syncing?
No.
I had fun with that or anything?
I think I talked to her once after that. I didn't mention that to her.
You didn't?
No.
I think you should have.
It's different when you're face to face versus on
That's
the
a good
phone. That
point.
was on the phone. I think if it had been
Yeah.
face to face and
Yeah,
had
I see what you're saying.
unlimited time. Usually when you do these phone interviews,
And how do you bring it up? That's a good point. It's kind of awkward.
You do
Hey,
phone interviews with
Dolly.
celebrities.
Yeah.
You know,
you get in, you get out.
your 10 minutes, and they're
Yeah.
on to the next interview.
Yeah, but sometimes you get them to stay longer. Right?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Right.
They may intend 10, and they go, no, I'm going to keep talking to this John Bream guy. He seems to know what the hell he's talking about.
So speaking of face to face,
Yeah.
you asked me a question last time. I don't know if it was here
Was
or
it
the
State
time
Fair
before.
a year ago? God,
Might have
time
been the
flies,
fair
man.
or a subsequent
Okay.
visit. But you said to me, asked me, who's in better shape, Mick Jagger or Bruce Springsteen? Remember?
I don't remember asking it, but I believe it because my memory's not very good.
Okay.
It sounds like something I might ask.
So I asked Springsteen face to face.
You did?
Yeah. What do you think he said?
Self-deprecating to a
That's
fault.
where I lean.
Yeah.
He's gonna
can't go
deep
up
down believe he is.
Yeah.
But he's gonna say what Springsteen's supposed to say, which is, oh, it's got to be the legend. Mick
Why are we
Jagger.
so cynical?
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
well, I've made you cynical, I think, to a certain degree. Unfortunately, I'm
Well,
not proud of it.
You're on the right track. You could say he was being cynical, or maybe he hangs out with Obama too much and gave the political answer.
Right.
But he said, something like, I don't know. He said, Jagger's dad was a Phi Ed teacher.
Says it all.
That's a good answer.
It is actually a pretty good
Yeah.
answer. And Jagger is 90 yet? No, not 90.
82 or 83. And Springsteen will be 77 this year.
Yeah. But is it not fair to say Jagger moves more on the stage these days, or is that not fair to say than Springsteen?
Oh, no, it's definitely fair, except he's not touring. But
Mick is not?
And Springsteen doesn't move around as much, but then on the other hand, he's carrying a guitar that, I don't know, may weigh 10 pounds.
So we started to go down the McCartney-Lennon road with Luger, but then I was going to cut too much into your time, so I'll save it with him for another time, because when he joined us in studio, this is where he got in hot water leading to the shirt, and he's ripping everybody. I think I must bring it out in people. I don't know why that would be, but
Really?
yeah, that's a bad habit. Anyway, it was the old. Come on, man, McCartney. I get it, legendary, but it's silly love songs. Come on, it's Lennon. It's Lennon's world. And my theory on that, I don't know if you and I have talked about it before, is that I went through that phase where I almost felt like I had to apologize if I defended McCartney when I was young. I'd say in my 20s, even 30s. You go, well, that's what you got to do. If you're got to be a Lennon guy. And actually, in terms of vocals, I always was a Lennon guy, to be honest. But over the years, I've come away from that because I start going, okay, yeah, I mean, you could pick individual songs and go, oh boy, I'm not sure, like silly love songs. But then you consider the breadth of work and of the partnership, and I go, it's too easy, I think, to dismiss McCartney on the basis of doing that compare and contrast with Lennon. Where are you on that whole issue? And have you evolved over the years?
Jesus, if you asked me to compare and contrast, I would have said I'm a Jagger guy. But
well, yeah,
I mean,
that's another. Yeah,
they're two different guys, but it was a combination together. Just like Jimmy and Terry are two different guys who like different styles of music, and they bring different qualities together. And the alchemy, when you bring them together, makes what they do together special. Now, even if Lennon wrote the whole song, or McCartney wrote the whole song, or Jam or Lewis wrote the whole song, they share credits. That's their business arrangement, creative arrangement.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick them apart, and I would agree that, there was some stuff that McCartney has done that is not up to his standard, but you can't, achieve greatness every time. I mean...
But there's a part of me when I look back now, and again, everybody has their tastes and everybody has their biases, I guess. When I think of just two ballad, when I think of Yesterday and Hey Jude, I go, if you do one of those your whole life, just one of those two, I don't. That's to me fairly mythic. Where regardless of the sappy stuff or the silly love songs or the urgency, you could say, that Lennon could bring, and I actually preferred Lennon's voice back in the Beatles days. Not even being conscious of any of this debate back and forth when I was a kid growing up. But some of those songs, John, you go, my God, those are unbelievably well-crafted songs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of brilliance, and because you've had such a long, productive career, prolific even, there's going to be some duds in there. Just like when people like Rod Stewart and Elton John were on the ballot for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I did not vote for them on the first ballot, even though I think, without question, they belong in the Hall of Fame. There was too much crap along with the brilliant stuff.
I see. So that was your way of dealing with it.
Well, I mean,
they're going to get in. I'm going to vote them in, but not first ballot.
Yeah, I mean, everyone sort of needs an editor.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and you got to know when your own crap stinks.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff they put out, I didn't think was worthy of their stature or meeting their standards.
We had Jimmy, as you know, early in the show, who you know extremely well. Give me some of your. I don't know how many interviews did you do with Janet over the years, Janet Jackson, and give me a little sense of the Bream Janet Jackson history.
Very shy. I probably did maybe 3 formal interviews with her. One on a couple in person, one on the phone, or maybe 2 and 2. Just very shy. Very circumspect.
Yeah.
You know, all the Jacksons were like that. You know, they don't open up. You always feel like they're hiding secrets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that might have been in some cases. Guardsy knows this story, and Jimmy does too. You know, we had a chance to do one of those meet and greet deals.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy sets that up for us, and I appreciate him helping us, but then I was like almost regretful that I agreed to it, because it just seems so artificial and so unfair to the performer. You know, it's after the concert. There's a bunch of people who she doesn't know, who she's going to, you know, it's just so we can say we shook hands with her and took a photo with her. And I'm like, God, you know, she's got to be sweaty. She's got to be tired. What are we doing? But, I mean, the stupidity of the event for me was that I did have something to talk about with her. But I was so worked up about I shouldn't even be here in this situation, we should just leave her alone, that I forgot to say, Janet, I also was born in Gary, Indiana. We were born in the same hospital. I didn't even do that. I choked at that moment. So any chance I might have had to have just maybe bring a smile to her face or maybe a little response, nothing. I just did the old nice, great job. Jimmy, you know, I know Jimmy pretty well. He helped set this up. I acted like a complete goofball.
Did you have to go to therapy after that?
I'm still.
I think this is the therapy.
I'm still affected by it.
I think him
and that's
talking
like
about
probably
it,
at least 10 years ago, probably longer ago than that. And I still feel like, you got the perfect in this artificial situation. You guys can talk about Memorial Auditorium in Gary, Indiana, that she grew up going to games in, and I grew up going to games in, and I just go like I'm some rube. You know, like could be anybody saying, "Oh, really loved your performance. It was great, and Jimmy's great, and hope you're doing okay, and thank you. I don't want to bother you any longer." So.
Actually, in a meet and greet situation like that, I probably had my most meaningful interaction with her, and
really interesting.
Yeah, she said something like she was uncomfortable. I can't remember if it was in the interview we had done on the phone that she said she was uncomfortable or something. And then I went up to her, told her who I was, and I said, "Why were you uncomfortable?" And she actually gave me like a real answer. I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was, you know, sincere and less, I wouldn't say scripted, but you know,
at least something.
Most people have kind of rote answers that they give.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I don't know if I'll make you feel better, Dan, on the meet and greet thing, but I had a very memorable meet and greet with someone because of something you said, and we were meeting with the person, and this individual, because of what you talked about,
I think I remember this.
Took us through the entire history. It was almost like a meet and greet within the meet and greet. There was a meet and greet for regular people, and then we got a special private meet and greet where this individual took us through pictures on an album, showed us what they were. We took some great photos. I don't know where to hang the photos anymore or really tell the story because that meet and greet was with Bill Cosby.
Oh, that's right, the Bill Cosby one. I thought you were going Maturi. But
no,
Cosby.
The Bill Cosby meet and greet where the connection was you telling him about the sports album.
Yes.
So then I had to go find the sports album. You couldn't go because Giovanzi had just been born.
Yeah, that's right.
So my then girlfriend and I drive down to Treasure Island. We get like 20 minutes with Cosby.
Well, he had been on the radio with us for like 2 hours.
It was unbelievable.
It was like 2 of the best hours we've ever had.
Which we can never play again.
No.
And the pictures that we have.
It's a great point.
Of him showing us the album in his Philadelphia high school uniform.
Yes.
And it was like that could have been Janet and you, but it would have aged better.
Much better.
Because my meet and greet, I don't even know where those
It's like
pictures
erasure
are.
at this point, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, what do we do with that?
I don't even know what we do with
How
that.
do you tell
I'm
the Bill
uncomfortable
Cosby
with it.
story?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to. And in fact, at the concert, he thanked us without
Yes.
naming us. He says, "Hey, that the local radio station," because we sold him some seats.
We did.
As it turns
that
out,
was the whole bit. We had first row seats. We had the meet and greet. We had the sports
And
album.
now-
We had the pictures, and now it's just
Now Bream, he's erased.
a random
Bill
State Fair
Cosby.
story.
And you're wearing U2 T-shirts, huh?
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Who else you got? Are you going to be here every night?
Not every night. There's actually some big concerts during the fair that are not at the fairgrounds.
Oh.
Tomorrow night I'm going to Alabama Shakes over at Surly Brewing down on University Avenue there. And Monday I'm going to Dave Matthews.
Oh, boy.
Band rescheduled after the rain out in June out at the new amphitheater. Have you been?
I have not. I've heard nothing but
I've
raves.
heard very good things.
You guys need to get out more.
We do. I definitely do. You're right about that. You're preaching to the choir there. But that's the beauty of you. You're ancient, and yet you're still out everywhere. Well, I mean, as a rip, I'm even more ancient. But the fact is, you're still connecting that way. That's impressive.
That's what I do.
And that's what you got to do to stay vital, right?
Yeah.
That's how you stay relevant, is to do that.
Absolutely.
You can't do what I do, the back in my day thing. At some point, you have to realize that the past is past. You can still connect with it from occasion, but you have to be prepared to meet the present and the future. Is that a good way of putting it?
Or in other words, you can only write about town ball so often.
Yeah, that's another way.
I don't think he's coming to the fair this year, is
He's
he?
not. He told me he's not coming.
That's too bad.
I think first time, like he said, 25 years.
There's a lot of towns
Which
that
I
play
said
ball,
doesn't
John.
seem right.
You're
we're
right.
Talking about Patrick Royce.
Pat Royce.
And
That was a
he
great
told
cheap
us
shot.
he's not coming. Yeah, he's not coming this year. I thought I'd shame him into it with it. It just doesn't seem right, but it didn't work. So far, it's had no impact. He has not responded.
Hasn't been moved.
Let's put it that way. That's for sure. So rate tonight. Who else from the fair will you be reviewing?
I will not be at Weird Al tomorrow because I'm at Alabama Shakes, but
Okay.
I would bet that the Power Trip will be there at Weird Al because Weird Al reaches out to the inner 11-year-old in all of us.
There's something to be said to that. That's very, very possible. That's true.
And I mean, Weird Al will tell you that.
So tell me where we are. Okay, let's do a compare and contrast. What year is this? 2026?
Correct.
All right, so let's go back. What would be the first concert you reviewed from the fair would be what year, approximately, even if you don't know the exact?
1975.
Okay, so let's go back to 1976. So 50 years ago. We've been doing the 50 years ago
Yeah.
thing on the show a lot this summer. So give me the biggest difference between sort of what the average fair when it comes to entertainment at the grandstand would have been then compared to how it's changed 50 years later.
Well, the big change is in the format of the setup. There used to be this wide grandstand where you could get 22,000 people in, and the people on the far extremes couldn't see anything. I mean, we didn't have big video screens even back then.
Obstructed views, you're saying?
No view.
No views, okay.
Yeah. I can't remember how long ago they cut it down to 13,000, and we've had the live video screens, and they even have new screens this year, I've been told. So they have additional viewpoints. But that's probably the biggest change.
What about who's performing?
Well, back in the day, they would have had...
76, I think it was Bob Hope. Didn't we go through the list? I thought we did when we did the 50-year thing. Like Bob Hope, I think, performed that year.
Yeah,
among
I
others.
mean, they had, a bigger lineup, I would think.
Yeah.
Like almost every act was a household name. Nowadays, there is so much competition that the fair is almost last in line to get people because you have to get on the specific 10 days or 11 days of the grandstand, you have to get an act. Well, not everyone's on tour.
Yeah.
Not everyone's available. It's a jigsaw puzzle you got to put together.
So we have
You want the lineup?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's not
Red Skelton and Helen O'Connell.
There you go.
Fabulous.
The Osmonds with Munch.
Oh, Munch was underrated.
Neil Sedaka.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Pride Show with Dave and Sugar.
There you go. Country.
Helen Reddy with Jim Stafford.
I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar.
Freddie Fender, Dottie West, and Mo Bandy.
All country show.
Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons.
There you go.
Before he was lip syncing.
Yeah, that's another lip syncing scandal. You're right.
There's Bob Hope. You mentioned him already.
Fantastic.
Linda Ronstadt and Johnny Tillotson.
Oh, that was a good show.
Mac Davis and Kip Adata.
I don't remember Kip. Kip Adata was a comedian. Wasn't he? Yeah.
Dark-haired guy, fast-talking.
And then two nights, the 5th and 6th, Johnny Cash show.
Oh,
that was tremendous.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Oh,
Johnny
that
Cash
had
was
to be
tremendous.
huge.
Yeah. Those early Johnny Cash shows were great.
What was it about Johnny? I mean, to me, like Dolly, it's like he's in this exalted place, like he's on his own plateau, isn't he? Isn't Johnny Cash on his own?
He felt like almost larger than life, kind of thing, in a different way, because Dolly, had this hard Scrabble thing, one of 12 kids, in a one-room house or whatever it was. Johnny grew up tough. He got into trouble with drugs, and he sort of rehabilitated himself and resurrected his career. And he was one of those guys that people respected from both sides of the musical aisle, so to speak. He could be rock and roll on one hand, and he could be country. Because he was an outlaw, he had rock and roll cred, and had a few songs that
Did you ever
crossed
interview
over.
him?
Oh, yeah.
What was he like? Because he would struck me as he could be intimidating. Was he? Was he tough to talk to?
No, he was actually very nice. And I interviewed him. You were here when the Carlin Celebrity Room existed, right?
I don't know. Was I?
Well, it was this.
What year would that be?
This was the 80s sometime?
I didn't get. Well, I got here in November of '86.
Okay, well, it was there was a professional bowling alley across from Met Stadium out in Bloomington.
Okay.
And professional bowling lasted, I don't know, about 5 minutes. And so someone took it over, developed it into a nightclub or supper club. And they had all kinds of people. They had George Jones. I saw Roy Orbison there the night of my younger brother's wedding. I was the best man, but I still made it out to Roy Orbison. And I interviewed Johnny Cash there. So I went up into his hotel suite. Very nice, gentle guy. I mean, I did think I was going to be more intimidated by him, but very nice guy.
He took that away pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big guy.
Well, he also his most underrated acting role was he was a villain. He was a murderer on a Columbo episode. He was the bad guy that Peter Falk's got to basically.
I've seen that.
It's a tremendous,
yeah.
And he plays a country star. It's a hell of a Columbo. One of my favorites.
Is excellent.
It's very well
I've
done.
seen it several times.
I don't know how many other movies or other shows he acted in, but he was. I thought he was excellent in it.
Yeah, I have a friend. Every time that comes on, he texts me. Gotta watch it.
Yeah, I could watch those forever and ever. What you got any Star Tribune appearances you want to publicize here before we wrap up?
No, nothing at our booth over there.
Well, what's that all about?
Oh, they changed everything. It's all about strip varsity now. High school sports.
What the hell is that? That's ridiculous. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with strip varsity, but why not use the tools you have? Why not use you as a resource?
I don't know. They laid off a lot of marketing people and whatnot.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Last round of layoffs.
So it's strip varsity this, strip varsity that.
Pretty much.
Well, blame Chip Scoggins for that. Is Chip coming to see us?
Yes,
Scoggins?
next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll blame him for that.
You can get your own baseball card from strip varsity at the Star Tribune booth.
That's actually not bad. They've had worse.
Bream doesn't sound bitter about it at all. He says,
next year, maybe
he sounds like he's on board.
Your own album cover.
Yeah.
Thanks to John Bream.
But here's the thing:
next
they
year.
can't. The beauty of it is they can't mess with you. So what's the difference? You can say whatever you want to say. That's the liberating part about doing this as long as you have. Right?
Well, we do have the First Amendment. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we think.
Yes.
We like to think that.
Can I ask a real dumb quick
Absolutely.
question? Because I know how sports writing works. Speaking of strip varsity, you watch the game, you go do your interviews, and then you go back to the press room usually and write your story. Do you just go home and write your story? Do you go to the office? Do you write it here in the car? Do you want to come back here and write the story? We can give you the code for the back room. Where does the music critic write the story?
It varies from place to place. At the State Fair, there's a media trailer backstage.
There is one. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. It's got, Ethernet hookup or Wi-Fi.
Nice.
It's got air conditioning. We don't have I went beforehand, I didn't see a porta potty next to us.
That's unfortunate.
They must have moved it this year.
Yeah.
At the arenas, we have a press box.
Yeah.
At Target Center, we use the radio booth that the radio broadcasters do. At St. Paul Arena, we're way upstairs at the hockey press box. At the new amphitheater, there is no place to write, so go home and write.
Ooh. Well, you don't have any real deadlines anymore, so what tells the difference?
Well, there still is the goal to get it posted online as soon as possible.
Yeah. Then you try to adhere to that? Yeah.
Yeah, but there are some days when it doesn't get posted till 6 in the morning because that's when the next person starts.
Yeah, that makes sense. I had another... Oh, when's the last Liney Lodge concert you critiqued or wrote off of? Do you remember? They used to have, like, I don't even know, the Liney Lodge doesn't even exist anymore, does it? Or is it called something else?
Yeah, it's the Luther Auto Band Show.
I see, okay. Because over the years, there's been some really good music there.
No, and I think there'll be some good stuff. Actually, tonight, Margot Price, excellent Americana singer.
Okay.
She was at Farm Aid this year. She's on the Farm Aid Board of Directors. Sharp Woman from Illinois, Midwest Farmer's Daughter was her first album.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You know them all, don't you?
They've also got the Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, that's cool.
The Rapper's Delight, the first hit rap song. They're going to be up at the band show for a couple nights.
So it doesn't sound like you're going to review the big Saturday night thing we were talking to Jimmy about, his big event with Terry.
No, I'll be covering
it. Oh, you will be there.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I misunderstood you. That'll be Saturday night.
Yeah.
Come rain or shine. Sounds like they got a lot of good stuff planned.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I mean, it's going to be a parade of performers, and some of them are amazing powerhouses.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
I mean, to see Yolanda Adams, who's just a gospel wonder, and Ann Nesby, who was the lead singer of Sounds of Blackness, is coming back for this, and she's terrific.
So one last question, although I'm already late, but I've been late this whole show.
It's the fair.
It's the fair, yeah. And it's been an outstanding, about as good a guest lineup as we've ever had for day one, I think. It's a maudlin thought, but I am curious. Like, okay, we've got aging rockers to varying degrees who are still performing, not necessarily, all year round, but still trying to. I don't know if the Stones are going to go back out. You know the people I'm talking about. They're from the 70s. They're from the period of time, in many cases,
well, even
60s or 70s.
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart, yeah, exactly it. So I hope they all live forever, okay? But if at some point they're not performing anymore in those settings, is that like end of an era? I mean, is there a lot of people beneath them just waiting for that to that opportunity, or do they represent a different pop music era?
Well, I mean, there's still acts that have been touring their whole careers, but it's a different era. It predates, CDs, and it predates the internet, obviously. It's a different era. But then again, a lot of them, even the younger acts, are doing residencies.
That's true.
So they don't have to travel as much. You come to them instead of them coming to you. And even young acts like Harry Styles, 20-some nights at Madison Square Garden. That's the new world. Come see me in Vegas. I'm not coming to you anymore.
Are you done for the night? You have other duties tonight.
I have Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, yeah, Bonnie Raitt. What am I talking about? Yeah, you got Bonnie Raitt.
I've been out here since your old buddy Chad Hartman. I was on his show at noon.
Is that right?
I was on with Jimmy Jam, actually, together.
It's
for
even
a while.
better. Even better. It works out really great. Yeah, he did not. Jimmy was, I don't remember. I don't think you came up today when we had Jimmy on. But I don't think there's any bad blood.
Oh, no.
Is there?
No.
I didn't think so. I don't think there's any tension there.
No.
Did you ever accuse them of lip syncing?
Probably the strangest thing I ever accused them of is the very first time I interviewed Jimmy after he left the time. Mm-hmm. And as you probably know, they tend to run a little late. And so I showed up at his hotel, which was out on the 494 Strip, at, one of those low-key hotels. And he's in the bathroom using mascara to fill in his parts of his beard that weren't there. And so years ago, the Minnesota Black Music Awards did a roast of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. The one white guy, on the lineup had to go up there first. You know, and I felt like Woody Harrelson in White Guy Can't Jump.
Yes.
And, you know, so I told that story about the mascara. So
He didn't get mad?
no.
He chuckled?
He rolled with it.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think he's got a good sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
Well, it's good to see you as always. We'll be in touch.
Pleasure to be with you.
We'll see you next year here.
We'll see you here. Hopefully we'll chat with you before then, because there's always something that might come up.
Yeah, a lot of odes to
And
dead guys.
That's true. That's sad, but very, very true. Good to see you, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Music legend, music critic legend, John Bream, kind enough to join us. A round of applause for him would be appreciated as we say thank you for his fine efforts again today. We're guest-free the rest of the way, although we've used up a lot of the program. We'll try to get caught up on a couple of fronts because Guardsy and I have not been on the air in several days as well, and what our plans are for the rest of this week when we return. Don't go away.
Dan Barreiro at
The platinum country singer-songwriter Cole Swindell being head to the Commons outside U.S. Bank Stadium before the Vikings kick off against the Green Bay Packers. To open the 2026 season, gates will open at 10:30 with live music starting at 11. It's an all-ages free event. More info, KFAN.com, keyword events.
Well, I did have some grand plans for the start of this show until everything got kind of moved around with the guest lineup changing right off the top of the program. And my declaration, Guardsy, was that I vow to make this the single most intentional State Fair run that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Because people tell me, you use that, you say you're going to be very intentional
You
about
have to say it.
that it's like, oh, they're serious about it this time.
Yep.
And I don't know that I've ever said it before. So this is going to be, I think I'm going to stick to it. This is going to be our most intentional run at the Great Minnesota Get-Together going back to basically back to the Chad Barreiro days, early 1990s.
Well, I would say we're 1 for 1. I think today's been a very intentional show.
Very much so.
I mean, you're sitting over there. We see Jimmy Jam walk by. I say,
Is there anybody you haven't been on with today, Jimmy? And he said, yeah, matter of fact, you guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but we said,
But he reased his schedule. He
3
basically
o'clock's
told
open.
his partner, I don't really need to do any more rehearsal.
We're
You
talking
love
about
to
practice.
rehearse. So my preference is just to stay here and be on with you guys, and then we'll let Terry take care of the rehearsal.
okay, so because you're the Larry David in all of our lives.
For sure.
Here's where this goes bad. The show on Saturday stinks because Jimmy didn't rehearse.
Yeah, he forgets lyrics.
He doesn't even know
Or
who's
doesn't
coming
even-
out
yeah,
next.
doesn't-
He says,
That would be a great bit.
he says, thank you,
Yeah.
Las Vegas, because
Yeah.
that's where they did it last time.
That's pretty good.
And then Terry,
I like that.
after 53 years of
They finally have a fight.
they have the fight, and the first fight is because
Of me.
he bailed on a rehearsal before
love-
their coming home, welcome home
that's-
tour.
that's so good.
Isn't that? I mean, that's
brilliant.
That's your
That's
life.
creative.
And then Jimmy Jam is never on the show.
Yeah,
again.
he never comes back
Yeah.
on because I
and you're there.
ruined the relationship.
You're there, and
Yeah.
he looks out at you, and you have the Larry David. That's it.
You could write it.
I think
That's
we just
pretty
did.
good. That's pretty good.
I think we just did.
That's really why I had my Larry David moment today was, again, I don't want to bore people with the fact that we can't use the media lot because they closed it down for that stupid daily parade.
A good friend of mine, by the way, her daughter marched in it today. Gessling's daughter is marching in it next
no.
week. And to the kid, I had to show some restraint.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, the parade.
So nice.
How was it? Was
Happy
it everything
for you.
you dreamed of? Grandma's there
I don't even
watching.
think they like doing it.
I don't think so either. But anyway.
Well, so the bottom line is I do my usual routine, which I do is I drive to the U, park in one of the free lots that's opened up.
It's a good setup.
And it's a good setup, although it's still a couple steps you'd rather not mess with after, 50 years of coming to the Great Minnesota Get-Together. You go at some point, I mean, God, I might be too old for this. But anyway, so I'm in the line where the lot is full. But there's only 2 cars ahead of me. So I say, okay, I can wait because usually it moves in and out pretty fast. And they literally have one of those traffic cones right in the middle when it's full. And then they see a car come out, and they lift the cone, and they signal, okay, 1 car in. So the cars ahead of me go, and then they put the cone back, and then he brings the cone back up, but I noticed no car leaving, but he still has lifted the cone and signals me to go on and go, well, maybe they have an extra one more than they thought.
Right.
I drove through that parking lot for 20 minutes.
Oh, no.
There's no spot.
No.
They're finding a spot, and I'm going, well, this is the Larry David thing.
Yeah.
Is that they miscounted. And then I said to the guy, I said, well, you weighed me in, but I don't see where the spot is. He goes, well, how are we supposed to know? I said, well, technically you shouldn't, but I thought maybe you had some idea because you weighed me in, and it's a big lot. So finally, someone else left, and then I was able to get in. But I'm going, this is it. That's how it's going to start. It's Larry David 101.
Day one.
I mean, I didn't have a brawl with security, at least.
No.
I didn't yell at him or anything, but it was just...
How are we supposed to know?
Yeah, it's like...
That's funny.
Whatever.
Well, you're the authority. They're in charge.
Yeah.
They should know.
I think he said, so that's a big lot. I said, well, no, I know, and I'm trying. But, and then there's the cruel part where some people in little cars that are anal about pulling up as far as they can.
I know.
And you start now, well, there's a spot.
False hope.
No, it's not a spot.
Nope.
It's like
a Kia.
It's a Fiat from like 1968, and they're literally up against the car in front of them.
Yeah.
So, but all's well that ends well. You were here all day, though.
Yeah, I got here.
You got to use the media a lot.
Yes, I got here about 10:15, and so I had no issues. And the traffic was not bad.
So you had the PJ Flex show this morning. That took over at 11, correct?
Yeah, we had the radio show here, then the TV show at Fox 9.
Okay.
Then I hit a bucket of balls and came here.
Came back. All right, let's get caught up on some things outside our guest list, which is outstanding today for day one. Any day, really, but certainly for day one for us. And whatever else we need to get into and what we have coming up. A busy set of days because we're here. I'm out here every day. You burned me how many days? 3? 4?
I burned you one Thursday. Next Thursday.
And technically, you're working, so it's not a burn.
Yeah, I'm not on vacation.
It's Golden Gopher.
Yes, Gopher opener. I'll be out.
We're preempted. We're out at 5 on that day.
Correct. We're out at 6 tomorrow.
We're out at 6 tomorrow
Yep.
because of Vikings preseason football.
Exactly.
But it's in Denver, so we don't get an early preemption. It's just 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we could do better.
Yeah, that's okay.
But we have a loaded guest lineup tomorrow.
We do.
Too, so
all right, so we'll get into all of that and a couple questions of stuff we missed while we've both been out happening in the local toy department as well. How are the T-shirts going? Through the roof?
I've heard very good.
Good so far?
Yes. Heard the morning was
outstanding. What did we end up using?
For us?
Toy department?
It's the old school KFAN toy department thing.
Yeah,
you know the bestseller that includes all of us?
What's that?
It's the Grand Theft Auto cover. The video game that all the kids are playing that I'm going to have to. I'm already worried about my son's playing because as Andy,
why is it too violent?
It can be.
Oh.
As Andy Luger said, extremism. Kids watching these things.
Yes,
who knows where we're going?
Yes.
But the Grand Theft Auto shirt that includes all of our faces.
Oh wow!
The entire station is just flying.
Well, what's the bid? I don't even understand it.
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
You basically steal cars and our criminals. You can pick up prostitutes. There's a lot going on.
Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never really played. It's a good family-friendly, state fair vibe.
Is that like an allusion to the San Francisco 49ers guy, the owner?
Oh, how about that?
I can't make that story up,
Yeah.
that's for sure. All right, let's get caught up. Top of the hour break or something close to it. Back from the Great Minnesota Get-Together in minutes here on The Fan.
This is Bumper to Bumper live from the Minnesota State Fair on The Fan, presented by Meshbet.
That's pretty good. But you know what? Are you hungry or are you starving?
Hit the beach.
God, I wish Kevin Seifert was here. Did you see what happened there during that last break?
I heard a little bit of it.
A huge fan of the program says she has not been to the Great Minnesota Get-Together in 50 years. She's here. And I mean, she may have been exaggerating a little bit because she listens to the show, but she made it sound like it's been a long time. Okay? She's here to see Bonnie Raitt tonight.
Yep.
I didn't even prompt it. She brings up Kevin Seifert and basically she's trying to basically mock him, humble him, to say, stop acting like this is the worst place to be. if she, after 50 years, is willing to come back to the fair, he could do it too.
You're right, but he's in year 5
that's
of his
true.
stance.
Yeah.
He needs another 45 years before he too may come to that realization.
So
it isn't the same without him.
No, it isn't,
Yeah.
actually. I actually thought one of these years he might melt, but now it's becoming a thing where he's almost reverting to adolescence.
Yeah.
Where
Pettiness.
it's where it's like,
Defiant.
I'm a kid. I'm not. No way. The more you push me to do it, the less likely I'm going to do it.
And now he has an unlikely hero fellow in arms in Aaron Gleeman. Those two.
They're enabling each other.
They're bound. They're in solidarity together.
That's
I don't
true.
think they even know each other very well, but they've bonded over this shared disdain for the fair.
Makes no sense.
They send each other messages to stay strong.
Yeah.
For real. That
That's
actually
true.
happens.
Stay strong. That's true. That's a very good point.
Hold tight.
So we've been off for several days.
Yeah.
Explain to me, because I was asked this question by, I forgot the name of the woman I just took the photo with, who hasn't been here in forever, who's become addicted to the point of her husband thinks it's obnoxious. The J.J. McCarthy momentum.
Yeah.
Is this real?
I don't know.
Is this dictated by solid reporting, or because it's starting to feel like the Vikings would take a 7th-round pick for him, or they're just going to cut him?
I know.
And it's in such a short period of time. I'm trying to figure out whether that's alarmist, whether it's just become an interesting story angle, because the whole Vikings quarterback thing has been one of the big off-season stories in the National Football League, and this is the next development, because it's a sexier story
for sure
if the Vikings are on the verge of saying forget it to J.J. McCarthy. Right then, they're going to keep the middle ground, which is they're not crazy about where he is, but they're not giving up on him. So he's either going to be the backup this year or the number 3. Now, I mentioned to the group I was talking to, the only X factor here that makes it difficult to speak, I think, with any authority on any of this is the new GM.
Right.
Because
Nolan Teasley.
Nolan Teasley is to me the wild card. Maybe he's one of those guys who says, my philosophy coming back from Seattle, and what I learned was, if you're done with a guy, you're done with him. This cut bait, leave. Let's not even romanticize this. It's cleaner. It's easier. Let's see what we can get. If presumably the head coach has said it's just not going to work. That's the only reason I'm not ready to dismiss the possibility that it's almost over for him. But it still feels, I don't know, it feels too quick.
It does. No, it does. It does, unless there's that, and there's also the Justin Jefferson angle, too, where maybe he has said, look, we can't win with this guy. We just can't. But
then what hurts keeping him as third string?
Well, nothing, but...
Because then we'd say, well, realistically, he's not going to play, so Justin doesn't have to worry about that.
Right.
And in our defense, Vikings, Justin, weirder things have happened in football, where a guy gets hurt, and for whatever reason, things start clicking in, and so we do not want to cut him, and we don't want to give him away for a 7th-round draft pick.
Well, because unless it is Nolan... If that is the case, then Nolan Teasley is the one that has to do it for sure, and he's got to take all the arrows for it, because that reflects horribly on the head coach.
It does.
That's where I landed on this, and there was one report about, and I was trying to find it while you were talking, because I know somebody nationally said...
Well, no, you know what, though? He won't be blamed. We've got too many people making it sound like it's still going to be Kwesi.
I know.
Which is ridiculous at the quarterback position.
It is.
Sorry.
But I do think, just organizationally, that is such a massive failure that blood is on everybody's hands if that's where it goes. And maybe that is where it ends up. But some national reporter in the last day or so, again, I was trying to find it, intimated that JJ was one of the guys at McCarthy that is actually driving the narrative of, I need to just get out of here, even though publicly he said this is where I want to be. I've always wanted to be here. I love everybody here. All the quarterback cliches that he's uttered. So that might be where some of the momentum is coming, is that it's from JJ's side. But it makes no sense unless, like you said, Teasley just says we got to just move and take the heat, because there will be. I mean, that's as bad. That's a worse miss than Christian Ponder.
Yeah, it is.
If they cut him now. Where Ponder at least played, won some games.
It's a Trey Lance miss, right? The Niners, in fact, we could say it's not. The Niners actually, they gave up more, didn't they, to move up to get Trey Lance?
They did. But their defense, or what sustains them, that whole organization is, I think they've been to at least one Super
some
Bowl
equity, yeah.
before or after. Like that's how they can afford to take a big swing and miss because more often than not they've come up with the right answer and the right play.
Yeah. Well,
but it is odd, and of course he's hurt again. That's the other thing from this week. That's just hysterical. That they're actually navigating another J.J. McCarthy injury when they want to play him tomorrow night, and I think he sat out practice again today or whatever walkthrough they had. Like that, the fact that he can't do anything without somehow getting injured is another chapter in this book.
Yeah, it's been pretty disastrous, and they can't. And because they don't have a playoff victory with this regime, they can't slow play it.
It gets late real fast.
Which also means it's possible they jump the gun and pull the trigger too soon. That's the irony of this. I haven't been the biggest McCarthy supporter once he got here, once we saw last season, but I was all for getting him in the first place. But now it's like it feels like it's all coming too quickly. Now maybe McCarthy is being disruptive behind the scenes. That gets back to the GM. May say then we can't have this kind of nonsense, and we're not going to have this kind of nonsense. Those are the parts of the story that I'm hoping to hear from the Jackals, because I don't know that they've talked around it, but I don't think there's been a lot of reporting that's flat out said that there's major disruption and upheaval behind the scenes.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
I haven't read it yet. Maybe it's yet to be written this weekend. We have preseason game number 3 Friday, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night.
And that's in Denver.
It is. Right here on the Fan.
Where your favorite, who's been pretty good at the QB position? Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, I know, he's great.
Who's the coach who made that decision?
Sean Payton.
Yeah, well, you can rip him all you want. Tremendous. He may have cheated once or twice, but he seems to have a better quarterback whisperer concept to him.
Yeah, it's worked out better so far.
I mean, I'm not sure they haven't won a bowl yet, but
no,
the guy can throw a pass from point A to point B.
And
how about that pass in the end zone?
I know.
How do you miss that pass?
I know.
That was a bad pass. No
yes, I know. I can't defend any of it.
All right, let's wrap up.
I was going to say Bo Nix has been healthy, which has helped.
Yeah, that's true.
But then he missed the AFC Championship game, if you remember, on a random injury.
Healthier longer and thrown a lot more passes as a college player. That's another issue, I think, that's now rearing its head that I don't think we can blame all on Kwesi. I just don't. All right, wrap up one more quick break, and then we'll remind you of what we had today and what we have on what Guardsy reminds me is a very busy program tomorrow when we return to the Great Minnesota Get-Together. Back in a minute.
It's the Bumper to Bumper Show Wrap.
Did he say hot yet? I can't hear anything.
He said hot. We're hot.
And we are hot. Then we're live and we're local.
We'll do it live.
Very, very eclectic program today with a strong guest lineup that started with Jimmy Jam right out of the gate, I should say. Two Dogs, the first day regular from Monty Creason's Traveling Reptile Show, brought his animals to us. Good stuff there. Andy Luger with an apology and a T-shirt to match. After he ripped a number of popular music groups from the 70s.
Pretty much all of them.
That's true. Andy joined us, largely
4 to 5.
Roughly between 4 and 5. John Bream also joined us, music critic, Star Tribune. He is here in part because he's going to be reviewing the Bonnie Raitt concert tonight, which is the number one reason Luger is here. So, in any case, a great lineup for our opening day. One of the deepest lineups we've ever had. What do we have on tap tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are on until 6 o'clock because of the Vikings, 3 to 6. Lori Fisher is going to come after we tape Enough Said. We're going to give her another crack at the radio because she always tenses up.
She fangirled it with Jimmy and Terry.
Oh, I know. We'll have to talk about that. But she also just dropped off her oldest son at college, which I'm sure was emotional.
Had to be.
I just saw another friend of mine that's about to do the same thing.
Did she tell you about her other big life improvement?
Oh, no.
Should I save it?
Yes, save it.
You wouldn't be able to guess it in 25 years.
Okay. Well, she's quit drinking 52 times.
That's
so I know
true.
It's not that.
No, it's not that one this time.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to tomorrow. So she's coming by, and then John Malay's coming by.
That's right.
Old preps writer from the high school league who's got a book coming out.
Yep.
So he is thrilled to come out and join us at 4 o'clock. And then Lavelle will be here about 5.
Oh, okay.
So we're pretty full tomorrow
Pretty full
as well.
again tomorrow, and we're done at 6.
Andrew Zimmern's on Monday. Don Plitzowite's on Tuesday. Nico Medved's on Wednesday.
Where's Kessler?
Kessler will be Wednesday.
Is that confirmed now, we think?
Well, he said, I left the spot open for him, and he said he intends to be here at 5 o'clock on Wednesday.
Intends.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That sounds like a lawyer saying it, or a general manager. I intend to.
Yeah, he's becoming.
I don't intend to trade Troy Williamson.
Right, or Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin, that was the one. Yeah, you're right.
We have no intention of trading Percy Harvin.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
So there's that. Too.
I miss those days.
Yeah. But
Those
we'll have Russo, we'll have Gessling. We have Jalen Clark from the Timberwolves on Monday.
Really?
Yeah, from 5 to 5:15.
Okay.
Bill Guerin will join on Monday.
What time is the new power forward coming on?
They should bring Kuminga out. They'd be. Although, when can that trade be official? Is it official? I don't even know.
I don't think it's official yet.
I don't know how that.
They're going to have to make one trade.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, they're not going to want to be in the second apron.
Right.
I don't think.
Right.
It's an interesting move, which we'll have more time to discuss tomorrow. I think it's kind of low risk. He strikes me as a guy, though, who I'm not going to celebrate yet because he's coming up, I think, on his 6th year. And he's had so many stops and starts. Kuminga is viewed as one of those guys everybody loves in the idea of him.
Right.
I think in part because they like saying his name. I think if his name was Jones,
Kuminga.
I don't know if anybody would care.
You're right. Jonathan Jones is different than Kuminga.
You
got Kuminga.
Got to have something there, you know?
He played well against us in the playoffs when they had nobody.
He does play a position where they are utterly desperate. So it's worth absolutely the risk. And apparently he lost a lot of money. Could have gone with the Lakers.
That's true. They gave him an extra year and an extra 12.
So we'll get into that in more detail.
It was like the reverse Yu Darvish. He turned down the extra year in money.
How about your Twins club?
Doubted them. It's over. Yeah. It was a good run.
4 games out of the last wild card and 4 games ahead of us. 4 teams ahead of us. It's over.
Which is perfect timing because it's
and Buxton's hurt again.
Of course. It's football season.
And you fell for it.
I did. It's time to go.
Go ahead. Thank Tom Polat again. Thank you for coming to see us at the fair today. Back here tomorrow at 3, right here in the Fan.
Game day starts at Hy-Vee. Before